Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, JD Studios, and today I have a throwback review to celebrate May the 4th because unfortunately my whole video is just probably not going to happen for a while because I'm still waiting for everything to come. I've got a big haul video planned for today, but with the virus and everything, it's difficult to tell when things are going to happen. So I thought I'd do a throwback review to 1999, the first year of LEGO Star Wars, to the only set that I ever had the opportunity to buy brand new, sealed in the box, which is the 7141 Naboo Starfighter. So let's get into the review. So starting off the minifigures, we have Anakin, and as you can see, this appears to be before the time of short legs because Anakin has full-length minifigure legs. It's kind of weird, but this was 1999, so things were not perfect back then, as I'm sure you've already seen by the Starfighter. So he does have the goggles and the helmet. The printing is pretty basic. It's in the original yellow tone, and if you flip it back, there is nothing on the back. There's no dual printed heads because that wasn't really a thing back then. It's kind of crazy to think about it, looking back at it from 2020, how much things have changed, how much things have improved. And this minifigure is an excellent example. So let's move on to R2-D2. Now this is an OG R2-D2 minifigure. It looks pretty cool. I remember as a kid I always wanted to have this because I never seemed to have an R2-D2. I'm not sure why. It was like a rare minifigure, R2 and 3PO. Nowadays less so. But that's a view from the back. It was a cool minifigure back then. It's still a cool minifigure back now. Although I wonder. Yeah, so this one, this old design, had a full slot through, so you could put a peg there, Technic peg, and modify it to actually have a third leg. I don't know why LEGO added the axle piece to make it hard to add the third leg kind of later on, but yeah, this was actually a better design in terms of the actual piece compared to what it is now, in my opinion, because of that. So yeah, now let's move on to the battle droids. Now this OG type of battle droid hasn't changed much. It really hasn't. The differences are very small. So for starters, it only has these two curved arms. This is later updated, I think in 2008, with the blaster holding arm. But probably the biggest change is actually the torso piece. So in 1999, if you actually look at the sides, on where it clips on here, it doesn't have any bars to actually hold it, so the droid can just slide across. Now, I'll show you what I mean. So you can see on the legs, it's got these ends, so once you put those legs on, those legs are not going to slide around. This is obviously a newer battle droid. So yeah, it's actually quite a big change, and also the blaster. This was before the studs, even. This is that old. The battle droids didn't even have studs on their blasters, they had cone pieces instead, which is crazy to think that this is so old, it doesn't even have the studs. But yeah, that is what it is. Right, now let's get on to the set. Okay, so taking a look at the Starfighter, it is really blocky. This was quite common of 1999 sets because it was very, as I say, quite early on in the LEGO Star Wars timeline. But there isn't a whole lot of features to the set because things like flick missiles, spring-loaded shooters were in the future at that point in time, including hinged pieces, apparently. So with the cockpit, instead of it being on a hinge tile, you moved it forward, took your Anakin minifigure, popped him into the cockpit, and you just had to move the piece manually instead of having it on like a hinge joint. You had to completely remove it. Now if you actually get a good look inside of it, you can see printed pieces were a thing. They use a lot more printed pieces back then than stickers apparently, and there's another printed piece there. So in terms of the detail, it's not terrible. I do really like the fact that they've included these printed pieces with your R2-D2 sitting in the back there. And as a whole, the set doesn't look too bad. Underneath you've got, I don't really know what it is. I think it's the blaster cannon, maybe the torpedo, but I'm assuming that's what these are. The details are a bit unclear, but it was a pretty nifty set back then. And I'm quite glad I got it. You also get a, what I'm assuming is a loading ramp for your pilot, which is what this is. So this, they do have hinged, they had hinged pieces back then because they used on this, but they didn't use it on the Starfighter. Very weird, but what I always assumed was that this would, you bring it up to your Starfighter and then you can take your minifigure and they can use it to climb in and out of their Starfighter. But that's how that's how I understood it. Now let's get on to the X-ray. So the instruction booklet is nothing special. There's no piece, it doesn't even list the pieces at the end, it just goes straight to the final set. That's it. There's nothing about the rest of the sets in the wave because they include this, which is a look at all of the 1999 sets. So once you open it up, it kind of folds out as a booklet. So if we take a look, like so, you can see all the sets in that wave. On one side for the Phantom Menace, so the Naboo Starfighter's there, Gungan Swamp, which I've also got, Droid Starfighter, also got that. I have ordered that, that is coming soon. I'm pretty sure I managed to get it sealed, I'm not 100% sure on that now. And the Gungan Sub, which is one of the Phantom Menace sets that I haven't got, but I will be endeavouring to purchase it. And then on the other side we have the Pod Racer, sorry. You have the Pod Racer, 3 Pod Racer set. I can't remember the name of the set, but it included Anakin's, Pod Racer, Gaskango's, Pod Racer and Sebulba's listed right there. And then as a separate set, Anakin's Pod Racer, I do have that one. I'm not really sure why they did 2 sets with the exact same set in them. And then way over here at the back we have the original trilogy sets from that wave. So the X-Wing, Vader's TIE Advance versus Y-Wing, Luke's Land Speeder, I do have that one, and I do have that one. Yeah, and then the box, for those of you who want to have a look. Oh, another really awesome thing was back then they used to include alternative designs for the set based on the parts in the set. And it was really cool as a kid to have those, because I always tried to build something like that. It's a real shame LEGO doesn't do it anymore. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. A throwback review of the 1999 LEGO Star Wars sets. Leave a like if you did. Let me know how you guys are handling the quarantine. What have you guys been up to? Like, subscribe, and if you haven't already, please check out my recent animation, Good Soldiers Follow Orders, and I'll see you guys next time.